Coast to coast.
It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and an addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, in the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to bring in Scott Lindquist. Scott is a FCPP and a CPS. What's the FCPP part, Drew? Do you know what that is? Point is he wrote a book on...
Crime prevention specialist.
Yeah, that's the CPS part. I'm looking for the FCPP part. Here's my point. He wrote a book on date rape. I think he's coming out against it, right? Is that true?
Yes.
It's how to prevent date rape, and we're going to talk to him, and you guys can take some notes. And you date rapers, you can write down stuff, tricks that the gals may try to play on you. You see what I'm saying, Drew?
I see.
So there'll be something in it for everybody when our guest comes in at 11 o'clock hour. But for now, it's just me and the doctor. So let me say a couple of things before we get started, because sometimes I just drive around and I think, I can't wait till I get behind this goddamn microphone.
Is that your family again? Oh, God.
No. Anderson, please turn that stuff down, would you? Thank you. Get stuff down. A couple of things I've touched on before. I drove here on the 405.
Yeah.
I was coming from the valley tonight.
Sunday traffic.
And I was going up the hill. And the thing I always marvel at, and I'm sure producer Ann does, because you take the wonderful 405 over here too, is the way up the 405, you're doing 46 miles an hour, and on the way down, you're doing 68 miles an hour. And I really want to tell this to people. I've brought it up before, but it's important that everyone pay attention to this. Here's how it works, everybody. There's a pedal. It's toward the bottom. It's where your feet go in your car. It's on the right. It's called an accelerator. Now, if you're heading uphill, or you're in mud, or there's a 150-mile-an-hour wind, something is in front of you, it's important to push that pedal down just a little bit further so you can compensate for whatever it is. And here's how it would go. If it was just a slight grade, like just a little bit uphill, you just have to push the pedal down a little. But if it was steeper, you'd have to push it down even more.
Well, hold on, Mr. Carolla, Pops Carolla. Slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah, you don't keep the pedal in the same goddamn place from your house to where you're showing up to. If the road goes uphill, you push the pedal down a little more so you can go a little bit faster. So you maintain that constant speed, you see? And then... now listen, and you may want to grab a pad and pencil. On the way down the hill, you have to back off the pedal just a little bit because they have a little more momentum, a little more inertia carrying you down the hill.
Why?
Thank God none of these guys are pilots.
I just got off a plane that brakes failed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the guy, he managed to get off the runway, and then he's like, hey, I'm going across the next runway. I'm going.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was he telling you about
So
it?
I was listening on the air traffic. And then... maybe when you get to the gate, it rolls on in past the whole thing.
Really?
Sit there for 20 minutes. Great.
Well, they hooked you up. Yeah, the one time you don't get the towing gate.
No, it's towing gate, but when they said it still kept rolling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They got to chock those tires. All right, so don't fly and use more gas when you go up a hill, everybody. You can't go 46 miles an hour up the hill. Another quick thing I want to say, too. Saw one of these guys out there. I want all you pussies to die. These are the guys who buy the motorcycle at the police auction and then sport the leather jacket and the two-tone white and black cop helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And then drive behind you at a steady yet slow speed. They're about 150 feet behind you on the freeway, and all you see is cop in your rear view. And you start pulling off the freeway, and these guys go past you, and they're wearing a pair of sweatpants. And I'm thinking, I want to kill these guys. I want to kill them. They must know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I understand buying the cop bike at the police auction. That's fine. I mean, you get a Moto Guzzi for $1,500 or a Kawasaki 900, just like Ponch used to drive, and you get it for a song. I understand that. But put a full-face helmet on. Or put one of those Prussian helmets on, the one with the big point on it. Or wear a vest, or don't wear a shirt. Don't wear the cop jacket, the cop helmet, and ride the cop bike, because it makes us think you're a cop. And then when you ride behind us, all we think is that's a cop behind us.
Yep.
Who's got huevos big enough to say, wait a minute, through the rear view, looks like that dude's wearing a pair of Keds. I'm going to get on it. I'm going to spark that joint back up. No way. Especially when you're stoned. Then you're free.
Are you trying to tell us something about your condition tonight?
No, I'm just saying that anybody who buys a cop motorcycle from an auction should has to
if they wear the cop outfit.
Bright orange helmet, not the two-tone cop helmet. And you pussies pretend like we don't notice, or it's just happenstance or coincidence. BS. I got you all figured out. They're they probably got kicked off the force, or you're all living at home, pussies. You should compensate me for my life. That's the way I look at it. I feel raped. Speaking of date rape, that's real rape. That's male rape. Driving 55 for 8 miles on the freeway because one of these idiots is behind you.
Come on, don't be such a pussy.
Thank you. Sandra?
Yes?
You're 26?
Yes.
What's up?
I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Okay.
When I perform oral sex on my boyfriend of 4 years, he cannot ejaculate, and he's the only male I've had this problem with.
Yeah.
Well, some guys have that. That's just the way they're put together. And
okay.
It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with what you're doing or anything wrong with him. That's just, we hear that an awful lot.
These are the guys who buy the motorcycles at police.
Yeah, Adam doesn't trust them.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, Adam believes they're gravely impaired on some level. We haven't figured out what level that is.
Gay or gravely impaired? Or is that your new code for gay? Gravely impaired? Yeah. Hey.
So, is there anything I can do?
No. It's not his preference.
Okay.
Not his bag. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with you. Maybe if you're a little prettier in the face, but there's really nothing we can do about that.
Oh, my God. You asshole. You came in here with a head of steam tonight. What is this?
I just drove 46 miles an hour up the 405 with some a-hole who was on a rented cop bike behind me, driving me insane.
Hey, goddamn, our listeners, you abuse them and they laugh.
I know. Because Sandra knows I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. That's just how your that's just how the plumbing to your boyfriend's penis works. All right.
You're fat. He's wired that way.
Well, I'm really good at it. So,
yeah. Well, yeah. He's so good. He's so good. He hasn't came in 4 years. You should get some kind of award.
Wasn't it done cummed? Isn't he a little last week?
He hasn't done cummed enough for you. Yeah, and hey, listen, don't give him a big speech about how great you are and how many satisfied customers you have.
Well,
that's just not his bag. And there's a lot of guys out there who are this way. I don't trust them. I don't talk to them, but they're out there. Right, Sandra?
Okay.
You got to wear like a big scarlet letter or something, just so you know how to keep away from them.
Well, listen, I heard that. I'm just not paying attention. Here's what I'm saying. What percentage of guys can't get off with oral sex?
We don't know. Probably, what, 10%?
I'd say it could be 15 or 20.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Here's what I'd say. I'd say
10 don't like it, 10 can't.
Okay, I'd say 10 to 15% cannot have an orgasm with it, and 15 to 30 just aren't really that into it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is wrong with these guys? What is wrong with them?
Humanity.
Oh, it kills me. But here, this is like when I hear about someone not liking The Simpsons. I have the same reaction. Right. I just want to punch them. I want to hit them, and then I don't want to hang out with them because I've labeled them immediate idiots. But here's the deal. If you're a woman and you've been with 5, 6, 10 guys, well, the chances are, if 70 or 80% of men can have an orgasm, that you've only had these guys. And then 5 years goes by and you run into the guy who hasn't, and you're all freaked out. Don't! It's just how it breaks down. Todd?
Pat?
Todd.
Pat?
No, this is Todd.
Okay.
Okay, Todd. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, my question, I guess, is this. Dr. Drew, my hands shake uncontrollably pretty often, and I want to know if it could be from past drug use.
What was the drug used?
Well, pretty extensive use of marijuana, methamphetamine.
Speed, yeah. Speed can do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, even if it was like a couple years back.
Yeah. In fact, do you have any memory problems?
No, I have a pretty good memory, you know. I remember all those events pretty well.
I'm just saying that there's a data accumulating that shows that people that use amphetamine heavily will have changes in their brain that have been shown to persist for up to 5 years after the use, and it's probably a permanent change. And things like tremor would be one of the kinds of things we'd expect to see.
So what does he do?
Live with it.
Live with it?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you going to tell him to go to a psychiatrist and see if there's some drugs that can be prescribed?
Not just for tremor, I wouldn't.
Really?
Because the kind of things here's why. The kind of things you use to treat tremor cause depression. Depression is one of the things that he's going to be at risk for with all the drugs history he's got. So he's asked about tremor. I'm staying on point here.
Hold on a second. Todd?
Yeah?
Your gaze is a professional calligrapher over? You're going to have to pull off the circuit? Do they have that in the X Games now?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they had freestyle calligraphy.
Well, giant pen.
Giant pen.
Yeah.
So I just have to wait it out?
Yeah.
No, it's just going to be with you, probably. It's just that's going to be you now. You're going to have tremors
Is it
periodically.
going to get any worse?
Not necessarily. It might get better.
Is it just like permanent nerve damage, or?
Yes, that's true. That's what it is. It's brain injury. It's brain injury.
Oh.
Yeah, look on the bright side. It's not nerve damage. It's brain
And
damage.
as I told Adam, the thing I'm concerned, the reason I didn't advocate you getting the tremor treated, which it is treatable, is that most of the medicines that we use to treat that kind of tremor either cause depression or are addictive themselves. So you're also at risk for depression with that kind of injury, and that's a more important issue, I think.
Speaking of an important issue, Man Show's on tonight, everybody.
Yeah, I was in Philadelphia today for 4 hours.
Man Show.
And I met some people that were into the Man Show, and I realized, particularly women, when they say they enthusiastically say they're into the Man Show, I think, what the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Lesbian.
No.
They're Uncle Tom's.
Yeah. No.
Aunt Tom's?
Uncle Lou.
Molested them?
Yes.
All right. Wow, it's good code there. Listen, I don't care if you've been molested as long as you can enjoy the Man Show. And why shouldn't victims of molestation enjoy good comedy?
Point is that it's further degradation and abuse they suffer at your hands right through that visual medium we call TV.
The point is it's on tonight as we speak on Comedy Central. And,
why don't you come down and watch a filming of the Big Brother someday? Big
Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to get out there, but it's like a good 3 miles away from where I live.
Where you work.
Yeah. No, listen, here's the thing about Big Brother. I can't get into that show.
It's getting better.
It is?
It's getting more interesting, yeah. It's getting more like a fraternity house in there, too.
I'm not in, let me explain. I have 8 guys I went to high school with all working on my house now that I spend the entire day with each and every day. That's enough drama. It's enough personality conflicts. It's enough tension.
Yeah.
I don't like real life.
Oh, I know that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see a bunch of people coexisting in a realistic atmosphere. I lived in an apartment with 3 guys. I had enough. I had enough real life. I went pixie dust and fantasy. You understand? I went big, grand extravaganzas. Speaking of that, did you see the opening to the Olympics?
Parts of it.
I turned the thing on at like 7 o'clock at night. I went out. I came back at 10:30. That chick was still in the air. Well, 8-year-old still hanging by that wire.
What was it?
Like, what
I didn't see that part. What was it she did? I didn't see that part.
First off, her parents should be arrested.
No, they didn't know about it. I saw her interviewed afterwards, and she said it was such a secret. She was not even allowed to tell her parents what it was they were having her do, and that they are now having a stroke, having seen what just happened.
Her parents told her to say that so they wouldn't be arrested. That's why I would tell her. I would tell my kid to say we didn't know.
What did she do?
Well, the harness that the wrestler was killed in a few years ago when he fell into the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, same harness. Not the same type of apparatus. They actually flew it in.
The same one.
From Atlanta or wherever the guy died in the ring. And she flew around above Olympic Stadium, like 80 feet above the ground, in this big sort of water, aquatic, sort of, really the whole thing looked like a mushroom trip I had when I was 19. But the point is I thought they would run out into the stadium and then light the torch up, light the flame, the Olympic flame. I left the house. I came back 3 hours later. They were still marching into that stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it went on all night.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like 10 minutes. Yeah, that's too long.
No, I got to throw about the D's.
Thank God it's only every 4 years. George?
Hello?
You're 21.
Oh, Mom?
Yep.
Oh, Adam, I love you, man. You are like the highlight of my day, man. You are so funny.
See?
Thank you.
See?
Oh, my God.
Those people talk right back to you.
And you are like the only role model left in the world, man. I love you, too.
True.
Oh, man.
How dare you.
I got like a serious problem, though, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had this girlfriend for like a couple months. Like, we have a great sex life and everything's cool, and I like her a lot. But she's like even too adventurous for me, though. It's kind of insane. She has been out with other guys, like before she met me, and she was a strap-on on them, and she enjoyed it as much as they did. And I don't understand how either of them can enjoy it in the first place, because it seems like not sex, and it's like really strange. And she said, "Hey, Dave, why don't I do this to you?" And
I mean, George.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
What do you call him,
Dave.
Hey, Dave.
And I was like, no, not to do that. Only gay guys do that, you know what I mean? And she was like, I can understand, but, how am I, she still has this need and this urge. And she says, hey, Dave, what can I do about it? And I don't know what to tell her.
Well,
what am I supposed to say?
First off, it's a good place to use my invention, the strap-on asshole. See, this is a lifesaver. Keep one in the box.
Yeah, relationship saver.
One in the wallet. So, Dave.
Yeah. No, George.
I mean George. Yeah. Caller George.
Yeah.
Dave, who goes by George. Yeah.
Right. It sounds like you got a handful here.
Yeah.
And
this person.
Is she? Now, listen. Here's the problem. And Drew, I know you're thinking this too. You're thinking this chick's a little left up, right?
I'm even going further. I'm thinking, let's see, George's a pot addict. So she's probably an addict. Because someone would put up with that.
Well, I don't smoke anything. I'm totally clean.
Why? I don't go pot on George/Dave. Do you?
There's a history of that.
Really?
No?
Well, she is a little left up, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
She was molested by her stepdad for a couple of years.
Oh, just a couple of years, though, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they weren't her formative years.
I don't remember. I didn't ask for details because I really didn't want to know.
Yeah.
For people who have been through experiences like that, sex becomes issues of power. The whole thing becomes a re-experiencing, a reenactment of those old traumas, and they have to
But is this like a deal breaker for her mentally? Like, if I can't do this, does that mean she's going to cheat on me with other guys?
Yeah,
it's going to happen anyway.
If she left you, it wouldn't be a bad day for you, George.
Yeah, but like she's really good for me, and they we love each other a lot. It's like,
no, I know. Yeah, listen, you guys have something special that could never be captured again. I mean, with the forcing the stuff in your anus and that kind of stuff.
Lick my butt.
Wouldn't let her in the first place. Come on, guys.
Okay, listen, George. Here's the deal. Here's why this stuff sounds cool, but it's kind of a turnoff. Because something's up with her. Right. It's not just she's adventurous or she's amorous.
Yeah, she's acting something out.
She's acting something out and she's effed up. And the reason it feels weird for you to go along with it is because you're now acting out her effed up behavior.
You're participating in a play. She's playing something out, you see?
Oh, wow.
And that's why it feels kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is the first time I had a problem, and this is the only thing. I was hoping, maybe if she went to therapy or some sort of medication.
Well, if she's willing to do it, but that's for her. That's not for you to fit.
And here's the problem, too. She goes to therapy, her vagina dries up immediately, you get nothing. A week from now, you're begging to have this thing put in your ass.
Oh,
Come on, come on, I'll back up. Just hold it still.
And there's something to what Adam's saying, is that the people that have those histories tend to go one extreme to the other.
So it's either feast or famine.
Sorts.
Yeah.
But,
That's still not fair, right?
Okay, listen, George. Yeah. Here's the deal. You're young. You're not getting married. Not to her.
Yeah.
All right. She can work on her stuff. You can help her as much as you can, and you can have a good time.
You can work on your stuff, too.
You can work on your stuff.
Why you pick somebody like that?
Oh, he picked someone like that because she lets him. And he's 21, and he's desperate, and he's horny. That's why. I mean, okay, but listen. Meanwhile, you're not going to marry her, and you're not going to get her pregnant. And if she works on her stuff and starts to mellow out a little, great. Okay?
So do I need to go with her to group?
No.
Uh-oh.
She said no. See this?
You just made Drew nervous.
Yeah. You just take care of your ass, and she takes care of hers.
I lick your butt. Because I'm a slut.
Kari.
That's Kari Wurr, everybody. Let me tell you something. Was I telling you about Kari Wurr?
Can I call you again?
I don't know if I gave you an update. Kari Wurr will call me.
Loaded.
So I don't know if she's loaded.
Oh.
I guess she's loaded. She'll call twice a year, 12:30, 1 in the morning, and act like I called her 10 minutes earlier and told her to call me back. I mean, she called once a year. I've talked to Kari Wurr 6 times in my life on the phone, maybe 3 times in my life. 1 year. I mean, Kari Wurr calling me is no different than Kari Wurr calling anyone who can hear my voice. I really mean it. I have as much of a relationship with her as you do.
No, I have a little more. I mean, you've known her for a long time too. It spanned a long time.
I said see her in the studio
but
once
it's not a phone
every
thing.
2 years,
right.
and then I'd never see her again.
Okay,
I'd never talk to her.
So what's the update?
Oh, let's see. Last time I called her, I said, she lives down the street. I said, you should come over. You should see my house. She said, fine, do it Saturday. I said, fine. Never. That was 3 months ago. She never called. She is the flakiest, craziest chick I ever met in my life. I don't really care.
Heart, I'll do you more down on the floor, 'cause I'm a whore.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. God, it's weird. Now, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. We don't have a relationship. I don't like her. She sure as hell don't like me.
You're friends.
We're kind of friendly, and she lives a block away from my house.
And she calls you twice a year.
She calls me twice a year drunk, and for the last 3 years, I've been saying to her, you live right up the street. You ought to come by and take a look at the house.
And Henry Rollins wants to kick your ass.
Get some!
Uh-oh. I think they broke up. Did they break up? All right. Let's just pretend they broke up. Wayne?
Yeah.
You're 27.
Yep.
What's up?
I was taking hydrocodone and carfilzotol.
Sure.
Soma and Vicodin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not pretty much. That's what it is.
Okay. And I was just prescribed buprenorphine.
I'm not a buprenorphine fan. But
well, I am. And my family's sworn by buprenorphine for years.
It's a way of tapering you.
How dare you slander the good name of buprenorphine?
But if you're not actively involved in a program, this is not going to work.
Is that right?
You've got to be very involved in treatment, because the easiest part of treating opiate addiction is getting you off the drug. Staying off, your brain is in a not permanent, but is in an altered state that makes it extremely difficult to stay off the drug. There are forces operating well outside of your conscious understanding that push you towards the drug again. Your brain perceives survival as the reward delivered by that drug.
How come you don't hear about buprenorphine?
Because it's on protocols now, it's on research, and it's sort of disputed whether it's a good thing or not. I personally am not a fan of buprenorphine because I see lots of people get strung out on buprenorphine. It's not using methadone or anything else. It's just making the withdrawal easier, and the withdrawal's easy enough, such as it is with standard treatments.
Is the the ibuprofen, is there any connection in those two?
Nope.
What's that? Spelled the same way?
One is IBUPRO. This is IBUPRO. This is BU.
But
I'm swimming already.
Morphine?
What's that?
Isn't the orphan kind of related to morphine?
Oh, it's related to morphine, all right. It goes to the same part of the brain as your hydrocodone does, and morphine. The deal is, personally, I will not treat opiate addiction outside of a structured environment. I mean, you go somewhere and live for a couple months, because it doesn't work, in my opinion.
Hey, let me ask you this. I was just thinking when you're spelling this thing out. Tell me if this is dyslexic or stupid.
Stupid.
Oh, come on. How'd you know I was talking about me?
Just guessing.
I was at the Kobe Bryant Bowl for charity last night.
Right.
And I was signing some autographs. And one thing that's wrong with me is when people tell me how to spell stuff, I can't process it.
Right.
There's weird, I'll go, what's your name? I go,
Amy, A-I-M-E-E.
And I go, what? Say it again. A-I-M-E-E.
I've sat next to many of those and piled papers up next to you.
N-A-M, slow down. Well, what is that?
That's your retarded education that you have.
It's just bad
that's
education.
Not you. That's the way you're.
Is that me? It's my parents again?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. What about the penis? Is that me or is that my parents?
That's Memorex.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to speak to Kathy. K-A-T-H-Y. I'm such a retard. I mean, I'll sign autographs. Make it out to Dan. Dan? Yeah, Dan. How do you spell that, Dan? D-A-N. D-N-A.
Part of that, by the way.
D-A-N. All right, hold on.
Listen.
D-Y-N.
Part of that is we've been traumatized by all the different spellings out there across the country. You have to check. If their name is, whatever it is, you have to check the spelling. There's no single spelling of any name out there now.
I could do 15 minutes on how all you idiots out there who are trying to claim some individuality by spelling your name incorrectly need to be severely disciplined.
For the parents.
When I'm in charge, names will be like words.
Everybody
will be one spelling.
Everybody will be called Adam.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, what I mean is there's one way to spell stop and one way to spell go, and there's going to be one way to spell Sue, and there's going to be one way to spell Amy. It'll be A-M-Y. That's it. There'll be no triple E at the end of it, you idiots. You drive me insane with this. See how easy this is driving insane? All right, when we come back, we're going to speak to Kathy 30. Why is it easier for her to orgasm during anal sex than vaginal sex? We're just talking about how evil publicists were during the commercial break. I was sitting at the Kobe Bowl-a-thon yesterday trying to win some money for some charity. Let me say a few things about this charity for just a second. I have no idea what charity I was bowling on, on their behalf. There's a lot of celebrities there. I was definitely not one of the, I'm a B/C celebrity. But it was Saturday night. I was at the bowling alley, and I wanted a brew. You know what I'm saying?
You're bowling, yeah.
I don't bowl without a beer in my hand. It helps balance out the ball. What I do is I use a 16-pound Brunswick high luster, and then I get one of those pony kegs, and I put it in the other hand, which weighs about 16 pounds, too, and I can sort of balance myself perfectly as I go down the lane.
Where do you put the pizza?
I have it waiting back at the scores table. Okay. I can go 10, 15 seconds without eating pizza, but I wanted a beer. But every time I said, and it was sponsored by, like, I don't know, IHOP or I don't know, some burger joint or something. But I kept saying it, and they assign people to you, This is your helper. They'll get you what you need. You need anything to drink. You need anything to eat. What do you want? You need a towel. I was like, how about a beer? Oh, we don't have any beer. And then it's kind of weird because, it's always like I've done a few of these types of things. This is a charity event. We don't have beer. And I thought to myself, hey, why do I got to suffer? I mean, the kid's in a wheelchair, but why am I getting screwed? And by the way, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? Like, I know it makes sense. Like, hey, it's a charity thing. We don't serve, it's not a beer thing. But, hey, it's Saturday night. We're bowling and we're, like, raising money for something. Why not have a beer? What the hell's that got to do with pediatric AIDS?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I sent someone into the Jerry's Deli, which is connected to the bowling, and this made me start to think I may have a problem. I got fixated on beers. Like, I was going to be there for 3 hours bowling. I wanted a beer, so it was Saturday night. So I sent somebody in. I said, look, go into Jerry's. Here's $20. Go into Jerry's. Who else wants a beer? A few people wanted a beer. Go in there, put it in a paper cup, bring it back in the alley. That's great. They come back 20 minutes. They wouldn't give us any. I was thinking to myself, you know what I should do? I should go to Dale's Jr. down the corner between frames and smuggle a six-pack up my ass, and then we could all rendezvous in the girls' room. And it's like, just get a beer out, would you? I understand it's a charity.
So you just spark up a joint instead?
I hit myself on the head with a shoe.
Okay. Yeah.
One of Shaq's shoes.
And what made you think you have a problem? All right.
Kathy?
Hello?
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for Dr. First of all, Adam, I want to back up a little bit. You spell Kathy, my name, with a Y and not two E's.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just clearing that up.
I thought you said it was with two E's.
No, I know.
Oh, my God.
No, I know a Kathy who did that, and while we were bowling, and this made me think she was a little bit crazy. This wasn't last night. This is a few months ago. We're bowling, and I just wrote her name. I was keeping score, and I wrote her name on the overhead thing, Cathy, and she ran up and erased it and put Kathee, and I thought, oh, baby, you got a problem.
Not I-E, just E-E.
Whatever it was, I want to know part of it. I thought deal breaker.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this is my question for Dr. Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why it's easier for me to have an orgasm anally than it is vaginally.
Classy.
I don't know, but there are definitely some women for whom that is true. And I don't really understand how that works, but I know it happens. And it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning.
No.
That I'm aware of.
I'll tell you what it means, though.
No psychological.
No. I mean,
what about oral? What about oral sex? Has he got to put his tongue down there?
I knew you were going to ask me that. No, not so much oral. It's more anally.
What do you think it is? Educate us.
I don't have a guess. That's why I'm calling it. I don't have a clue.
But you're definitely clear that that works better for you.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, I mean, there are all sorts of theories people have about this.
Are you married?
No.
Your boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Yeah. He's the only guy in America that's like, oh, Christ, not in the ass again. Oh, Jesus. Boy, here we go.
Do you have any sense of the experience, how it's different for you? I mean, really, I'm just curious.
As far as the feeling?
Yeah, and the experience.
Actually, the feeling is exactly the same.
So why the preference?
Exactly the same?
It's easier.
It's easier?
It's okay. Sure. But again, is there anything about not just the...
Wait a minute. Hold on.
But I mean, you
I can't get past that easier and faster part. What's faster? The orgasm comes faster?
Yeah.
So you can finish faster.
Not necessarily finish faster, just have maybe more.
Right. And easier Easier just means it happens.
Easier for her.
And it's easier to climb.
Right. And what about your boyfriend?
What about him?
I mean, this guy's Johnson must smell like hell.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, we use protection.
He's the condom.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys go through like a couple cases a week or something?
No, it's not that obsessive.
Okay.
But again, Rachel, excuse me, Kathy, for just from my understanding, hang on.
No.
Is there anything else about the experience, not how it feels, but how you experience the entire act that makes it different for you?
No.
No, it's just a mechanical thing for you, different.
Exactly.
All right, there you go.
No. That's not it.
Hey, Adam, you don't agree with that?
No. Here's what's going on.
Oh, please.
Let me explain you broads.
Okay.
I even have to explain the broads to the broads. Listen to me, because I'm a genius by all gender standards. I don't even know what that meant.
Nothing.
Okay. See, they should have given me a beer last night.
Yeah.
That's all right. I did end up getting a beer, but
okay, good.
I had to make it. The point is this: women are not mechanical like men are.
Well, some have a more mechanical piece.
Yeah. Men are very mechanical. You manipulate the penis, something comes out. It's very easy. It's like a jack in the box.
Yes.
You turn that crank enough times, something's going to pop out. That's it. Oh, bye. Okay. That's how men work. Women, you guys are all over the map. Who knows what's going on with you? Your G-spots and your candles and your Julio Iglesias. Who the hell knows what's going on with you? So, because half of your orgasm is like emotional, then the excitement, the intrigue, and the sort of naughty nature of having a guy approach you from behind could be enough to give you an orgasm. Aha!
But wait, keep on. She's our little lab rat here.
No, she doesn't know.
But listen, I had a theory. I'm thinking to myself that perhaps there's something to do with the way women experience receptivity, because receptivity is a lot of their sexual experience. They're sort of receiving a connection with the guy.
Right.
Is there anything to that, Kathy, for you?
No, not really.
No, she's just mechanical.
True, going down another dead-end road.
That one, I didn't claim anything. I was just curiously pursuing.
Sure, you ought to work for like a big oil company, and you could say, I think there's oil right here, drill here, and they go, thank you very much, boys. Let's move the rig about 200 miles down the road.
It really better be like some sort of navigator. That'd be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Because they could plan to go exactly the opposite direction of whatever I say.
The compass is out, Drew. Which way do we go? Due east. All right. Go west. Full speed. Yep. Lisa?
Yeah?
You're 19.
Hi, what's up?
Nothing.
I just want to let Dr. Drew know that he's like the sexiest man I've ever seen. I swear to God, he's so beautiful.
God bless you. Where did you see me?
Oh, just on TV and stuff. You're just such an attractive man. Oh, my God.
You've got a dad thing going on here.
Oh, no, I don't. But, actually, my boyfriend, every time we have sex and stuff, he gets so, like, completely sweaty. I mean, like, he's showering me in his sweat, and, like, sometimes I don't know what to do. It's so embarrassing that I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know what to do and stuff.
Is there any way to get him to sort of...
You should be angry at him.
I should be angry? Why?
Oh, yeah. Sweating all over you?
Well, it's not like he's dirty. It's just like, he's working for what he wants.
Right. Is there any way to get him to lay back a little bit? Can you tell him to calm down?
Oh, well, no. It's just that he likes it, like, hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you? Yeah, but do you?
Yeah, I like it like that.
Can you, like, get an air conditioning unit and just have it blowing?
Well, I don't think it doesn't matter, like, where we are. We could be outside and, like, it could be freezing and he'll still be that sweaty. I don't know what it is.
No. Listen, you get a fan going on and it'll slow him down. I'm a big sweat guy.
Yeah, but you schwitz from, like, weird places.
It doesn't matter. If I'm having sex, I'm schwitzing.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm a big schwitzer, ladies. Sit down. And I'm the world's laziest man. Drew, do you notice I'm wearing my pants inside out?
Yeah.
My pants are inside out, right?
Okay.
Because I put them on, and I started to leave the house, and I went to put my wallet in my pocket, and I couldn't find it. I had like 20 minutes trying to find my pant pocket. I was like, why won't this wallet stay somewhere? And then I looked down, and I went, oh, my pants are on inside out. And I stopped for a minute, and I went, oh, I guess I have to carry my wallet. And I just kept going.
And please finish the story. There's also a shirt you've been wearing for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but the point is I didn't even turn my pants around. I'm that lazy. Hey, Lisa? You need to get a fan on this guy.
Yeah, and you also need to communicate with him. Look, you're having a very intimate experience with him. You need to be able to kind of work it out together to get something that's comfortable for you. It's not all about him. It's about you, too. And you are well within your right to ask not to be showered.
Where's most of the sweat coming from?
from everywhere. His head, his back, like even his legs are sweating and everything.
That's just gross.
Yeah.
Look what women put up with for men. Look at that.
Oh, please. When you're in love, a little sweat never hurt.
A little.
Hold on. Let's see. What's the guy's nationality?
He's Mexican.
Oh. You know, Mexican guys don't normally sweat that much.
Well, I don't know. It's like
he may have a tumor or something.
No. No,
I'm telling you, Mexican guys don't sweat. You know, it's been 108 degrees in the valley all day. Okay, let me explain something about Mexican guys. They do not wear shorts. Mexican guys do not wear shorts.
Mexican construction guys.
Mexican construction guys do not wear shorts. Okay, I work with 6 guys, and they're all Latin guys, and they're all wearing pants, boots, and like a long sleeve shirt that's tucked in. And it's 108. And all the white guys are working in their underpants.
Yeah, but they're pussies.
I swear to God.
Right? The white guys?
Mexican guys don't sweat, and they don't.
Yeah, but they're suited up. They're ready for business. You also said no.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. They don't wear shorts. Even Mexican guys at the beach don't wear shorts. You ever see Mexican guys wear a pair of swim trunks?
Yeah,
no, never seen it. No, those are tourists. Go down to Santa Monica, so you can find a Mexican guy wearing a pair of shorts.
All right, let's continue with our racist epitaphs for the rest of the show. Here we go.
You're
just making observations. I know.
How many Mexican guys you work with every day in 105-degree weather? You don't. I do. They all wear pants.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not a bad thing. They're better men than I got to wear shorts or my balls will fall off. But I'll tell you one thing I got to say about the Mexicans before we move on with the show. We talked about this before.
That's epitaphs.
Yeah, right. See, you want to kill them. Yeah. I called my plumber up. My electrician up, Jose today, and it's like his mother-in-law answered the phone or something. And this big beef of mine when the Latinos answer the phone, and it's like the wife or the grandma or something, and he asks for the guy, and they answer with who, and they act like they never heard of the guy. Here's how it goes. What?
Oh, you didn't pronounce it properly.
No. Yeah. Is Jose there? Who? Jose there? They sound completely confused. Who? And you know what I'm talking about? You ever done this? And I'm thinking to myself, you don't speak English, but certainly you live with Jose. I mean, you know Jose, right? And then always the next one is the next one. So, is Jose there? Who? Jose? No, he's not here! And I'm thinking to myself, whoa. Like, I'm picturing Jose, like, duct taped to a chair, sitting right behind, like, with a tennis ball in his mouth, like, sweating while someone's holding a gun to his head, and I get nervous. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Tell Jose, this is Adam, and that he needs to, boom, hang up. I think to myself, okay, now here's all I'm saying. Here's all I want to say. This is not a racist statement. If you're living in a country where there's a primary language, which is English, and someone calls speaking that primary language, do not be confused. That's A, number one. Like, if I lived in Germany and some guy called, I answered the phone and some guy was speaking German, I wouldn't be that freaked out. Doesn't mean I speak German, but I wouldn't be confused. I wouldn't, Hans? Oh, Hans? I wouldn't freak on him. I'd just be like, okay, this is Germany. I guess the guy's speaking German. Okay, that's number one. So don't be freaked out when someone calls speaking English. And number two, if you're actually living with the person who's of the same name that the person who's calling is asking for, again, don't be too freaked out. They live there. Someone is calling, speaking in the tongue of the country you live in, and asking for the person who lives with you. Don't freak. Is Jose there? Oh! Just go, no. He no home. That's good. I'm fine with that. Okay, Jose's not home. I always have the phone thinking, I don't know who I called. I wonder if that was Jose. It's sort of confusing. Hi, is Drew home? Oh! Back to Drew. No, you're not here!
Okay, so you come back with your Mika impressions.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right. No, we're going to bring in, we're going to bring our guest in, Scott Lindquist. He's going to tell us how not to be raped on a date. Hey, Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Whoa! That'll be Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Scott Lindquist is our guest tonight. Scott is the author of the Date Rape Prevention book. Scott is a FCPP and a CPS, crime prevention specialist. That's the CPS. What's the FCPP?
The FCPP is the Florida Crime Prevention Practitioner.
I see. Jesus, that's a lot of nothing. I got to tell you, that doesn't mean anything to anybody. Even people in Dade County hear that and start laughing. Get that off your list. All right, now I'm done criticizing again. 15 ways to prevent date rape and acquaintance rape. What made you author this book?
Well, this really comes from a long line of seminars and that I've done in universities around the country on crime prevention in general. And basically, we had a lot of questions from people about this issue of date and acquaintance rape, and there wasn't a lot written on the subject that was really readable. That was easy to read. It wasn't filled with so many statistics and a lot of horror stories that made it difficult for people to read. So I sent out surveys to about 200 or 300 universities and asked them what they wanted to see in this kind of a book, and that's what became the date rape prevention book.
I was telling Drew off the air, I think I'd put a chapter on camping in this, which I believe should be called raping, because there's no difference. We talk to people all night long. Every time they go camping, they get raped.
Yeah.
Even I mean, it's nonstop. So I don't know if there's a section on that or a chapter on that. It should be an addendum to that.
That's a good point, though. I was not aware of that. But.
Oh, I'll tell you, the number, well, I don't know about number one, but the way a lot of guys work is they get a few buddies and they get a few girls and they go out camping and they bring a case of beer and somebody inevitably crawls into someone's mummy bag.
Right. Actually, over 90% of all acquaintance rapes have a real high propensity of alcohol, both with the perpetrator and the victim. So alcohol is the number one, what I call the rape enabler out there.
Well, as my buddy the Wheeze used to say, juice them up and go. He was quoting an old Sizzlers commercials made by the Hot Wheel Company, I think, but we knew what his point was, which is booze is the way to get in the pants. And not that I condone that. And in California, if you have sex with somebody who has booze in their system, it's considered rape.
Yeah, and I really think that going in that direction can be dangerous, because I think that it's, what I try to do is to get men and women to both take responsibility for their own sexuality. And the problem with going in that direction is that if we tell women that no matter whether you say yes or no, it's still going to be rape if you're drinking, then why does a man bother to ask for, consent? If he's going to be thought the rapist, regardless of what she says, then what's the purpose of communicating? And what I'm trying to do is to get people to communicate.
Hey, we have 2 minutes before we have to take another break, so why don't we do a call?
You want to do a call?
Then we'll continue the interview after the call.
All right. Rob?
Wait, I'm sorry, let's take this one since it's a rape question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
I hung up on Rob. Big deal.
On 70 minutes waiting.
Oh, they're a dime a dozen, these callers. Miranda?
Oh, gosh.
Hi.
You're 21. What's up?
Okay, like a few years ago, I was raped, and ever since then, I had problems with dealing with, emotional and stable relationships. I haven't been able to have a healthy relationship, and so it's like...
Was this the first time you'd had any sort of victimization?
It was the first time, yes.
When you're growing up, nobody ever physically abused you?
No, I had a wonderful upbringing.
And was this a violent rape or a date rape?
What it was is he was an acquaintance of mine. It was after a football game at a party.
Right. This is right up your alley, Scott.
Yeah. Did you get help? Did you report the crime, or did you get help or counseling or anything?
I was told not to report it because it would ruin his football scholarship. And so I wasn't the first girl this has happened to, but ever since then, it's like I've had nothing but chaotic relationships, and I'm not happy in a stable relationship.
Hold on, Miranda. I'm playing a hunch here. Jewish guy?
Huh?
Be honest. Jewish guy?
No, he's a Portuguese guy.
That was my next guess.
I think one of the things that I have run into many times, that when women don't report the crime, when they don't get counseling, when they don't validate what happened to them, they end up blaming themselves a lot. They feel it's somehow their fault, that they did something wrong. That was, I shouldn't have gone out with him. I shouldn't have had so much to drink. I shouldn't have allowed him to take me home, or whatever happened. But you've got to understand that if you don't get help, if you don't get counseling or therapy, or turn to somebody, there's a lot of people out there that can help you, and that there are rape crisis centers out there. There's all over the country that can help you get through this. But you've got to face what happened to you and get this out.
All right. Hey, Miranda.
My other question.
Oh, hold on a second, my baby. We got to go to break.
Okay.
Is that enough? That's one.
I just have a question.
What?
Okay, I've been attracted to guys that are 8, 9, 10.
All right, hold on.
8 or 9 years? Okay, stop it. There we go. I answered that one quick. We'll take a little break. Hey! I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Scott Lindquist is our guest tonight. He's the author of the Date Rape Prevention book. He's a crime prevention expert. And we were talking... Were we talking to Miranda?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk... I'll talk to Scott a little more, and then we'll get back to Miranda. So, most of the stuff is common sense, right? I mean, how to prevent any crime, almost, right?
Well, there's some of it that's common sense. A lot of times, we were talking about alcohol earlier, and the fact that a lot of young girls don't understand that alcohol affects a woman's body faster than a man's body. There's an enzyme that she carries that actually helps women become alcoholics faster than men, and this same enzyme is a situation where if she's drinking the same amount as her boyfriend, she's going to get drunk faster.
Right.
And the old adage that when you drink, you are easy is in some ways true because you are easier to manipulate and control.
Right.
If you're drinking or if you're having date rape drugs put into your drink, so you're onto your food, GHB or Rohypnol, those kind of things, and you can't smell them, you can't taste them, and you can't see them, so they're very, very deadly because you don't know you've ingested them, and then you fall unconscious, and then you're sexually assaulted, and then you can't remember who did it.
Right.
So it's very dangerous.
What percentage? Do they know what percentage of rapes are reported, or do they have some kind of guesstimation on that?
Well, about 6 or 7% of acquaintance rapes are reported.
Wow. 1 out of 20.
Yeah, and it's very low. And basically because most people don't believe that anybody's going to believe them. And they oftentimes don't identify the rape as actually being a crime until days later when the evidence is bad.
Right. And also, I would imagine that a lot of people feel like, I had some sort of relationship with this person, and now they raped me, so therefore I'm somewhat responsible for it, or I had to play a role in it.
Yeah, they blame themselves, and oftentimes a woman will blame herself, just like that young girl did, Miranda. People told her not to report the crime because he was a football star, and we didn't want to ruin his career, and we don't want to upset him and his way of life, but in the meantime, her life basically goes to hell and in a handbasket, and she has to try to recover for the next 20 or 30 years.
Plus, I'd like to add this, that she said this guy's done this before and it's never been reported.
Yeah.
If the people he'd done this to before had reported it, probably wouldn't have happened with you, but then even if it did happen with you and you report it, now there's a paper trail here, there's a little history, and it's much easier to prosecute.
But if he's valuable to the athletic team, if he's valuable to the university, and people think, well, we can't disturb that, he's too important, so we'd rather keep him in his place.
And that's why, if I was an athletic director, I'd get everyone on the football team what I call comfort women. Fluffers. Yeah. I'd fly them in from Indonesia, and I would have them, just sort of surrogate sexual partners.
Like the way the Japanese used to deal with their fighter pilots? Just have a little compound?
Yeah, during the World War II, the Japanese would just go ahead and force women into prostitution so they could, the guys could, keep the edge off before they went into battle. Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to say something real quick about the Japanese. And,
God, are there any ethnicities you're going to leave out tonight?
No, but I just want to say something real fast. Once in a while people get a little freaked out about Nagasaki or Hiroshima or something like that. Best military move we've ever made. Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? You know how many Americans would have died in an invasion of Japan?
Oh, our Japanese would have died, too.
I mean, Japanese, kids, women, civilians. These people were crazy. They were doing kamikaze, not only kamikaze in airplanes, just human bombs. Kamikaze submarines, suicide attacks, jumping off cliffs when they were taking over the Philippine Islands. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? It was the greatest move. We'd saved more lives than any other military move ever. Please. I can't stand hearing that. And number two, it's a war. You kidding me? You know these people treated our American prisoners? What about Pearl Harbor? And what do you think they would have done if they had the bomb? They would have dropped it on the Statue of Liberty, you crazy sympathizing sons of bitches. Go to Japan. You got a problem with that. Thank you. All right, we'll get back on the phone. God, we're nuts.
Tonight.
I'm just tired of all the idiots yelling.
Who got you?
I'm the only idiot who should be able to yell. Please. I think rape is a good thing. Oh, I didn't know the mic was on. I really didn't. Miranda?
Hi.
Okay, so you got raped by a guy on the football team.
Uh-huh.
You never reported it.
No.
And you had a perfect upbringing.
I had a very perfect upbringing. I mean, my mom was over-intrusive, and, like, I've had eating disorders, and I've done drugs, but...
Okay, whoa, stop right there.
Other than that, it was storybook?
And now I'm, like, attracted to guys that are 8, 9, 10 years older than me now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I really like these guys, but I was wondering, is that not healthy? Is that connected to the race?
Hey, Miranda, you want me to tell you the most unhealthy part of your life right now?
Yeah.
The fact that your radio's up. You screwball. Turn that radio down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Oh, Jesus Christ! I gotta hear myself for a second time.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
The next thing is your massive abject denial about your psychological state. You had an eating disorder. That's a major psychiatric condition.
Oh, I know that I have issues.
Okay, well, that wouldn't make it a storybook perfect health situation.
I know that. I mean, my parents are really good people.
I'm not saying anybody's bad. I'm just saying that there's some stuff here that set you up. Made you a good victim for this guy.
Yeah, it was just, you know, like, he was just an acquaintance. You know, I'd known him forever, and I didn't expect this. And I had a boyfriend. Supposedly my boyfriend knew about this, because I remember my boyfriend walked into the room when this was happening, and he didn't do anything about it.
Okay, one more reason you need to sort of evaluate your life and your decisions. And it doesn't make this rape your fault by any stretch of the imagination. We're just saying that, you know, the guy you chose to make your boyfriend, number one, was an a-hole, right?
Right.
And you had this eating disorder, and your mom's over-intrusive, and things aren't as great emotionally as maybe you made them out to be at the top of the call.
Miranda, when did all this happen? How long ago?
It happened when I was 17.
And you're how old now?
No, excuse me, no, it happened when I was 18.
And how old are you now?
21.
21.
21. Well, it's never too late to get some help.
It just makes me so mad because I had a chance at, like, a really great relationship, and, like, I sabotaged it.
Sure.
And it makes me so mad because these stupid issues, and I know they're not my fault.
But you would have sabotaged it in some other way had it not been this way, and that's what you need to get back and work on.
It wasn't a really, really great relationship on the guy who walked in while you were being raped and left, was it?
Well, I don't want him anymore, no.
I see. Okay.
But I was just wondering, I mean, is it wrong for me to be attracted to people that are almost, you know, they're 2 years older than me?
Right now, all we know is that we don't trust anything about your attraction.
If you're attracted to him, go the other way. Cross the street. Rob?
Yeah.
You're 14.
This is the guy you hung up on.
Oh. Hey, Rob.
Hey.
I didn't do it on purpose, buddy.
Hey, it's okay.
What's up?
Well, first of all, you're really cool, and I just got finished watching the Man Show from 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
Sure, you're great, too. Bruce sucks.
Yeah.
What I want to know is,
yeah.
When callers always call and you're talking about, Drew is talking about child abuse or whatever, I wonder what exactly child abuse is, because my mom might, like, throw a shoe or something when she's mad, and I wonder, is that really considered?
Is her foot in that shoe?
Oh.
No, it's not abusive.
Okay.
That's actually kick you.
Does she hit you with the shoe?
I mean, like, we get into an argument, and she, like, mad at me, and she throws something at me, but...
Now, with this shoe, would it be like a pump or a softer shoe, like an espadrille?
One of those little leather Reeboks or whatever.
Oh, that's not abuse.
Okay.
Now, if she one of those big lucite stripper wedgies, you know, that'd be something.
It's certainly flirting with abuse, isn't it? It may not be overt abuse, but it certainly isn't being respectful of you and your boundaries. It certainly isn't giving you a good role model for a parent that can contain aggression. So it's certainly an unhealthy kind of a situation. Is it disastrous? No.
Where's your dad?
My dad lives about 15 minutes away. I live with him during the week. I'm only here on the weekends.
Maybe he could talk to her.
Yes.
Can he talk to her?
Yeah, but I've never been, like, bruised or anything.
No, don't make excuses. Don't make excuses for her.
Guys can handle this.
Yeah, but don't make excuses for her. Stop right now.
All right. And listen to me. I'm speaking of my own dad here. All you screwed up parents that get divorced, and all you guys that leave these crazy bitches because they're just flat out nuts and you can't handle them, what do you think your 11-year-old's doing with them? You know what I mean? It drives me nuts. You hear about all these guys that are like, oh, this chick's psycho. She is nuts. Oh, man, if she gets around a period, look out. Here, take my 3 kids. I'm going to Miami. Well, you can't handle it, and you're 6'3", 210 pounds, you drive a truck. If you want, you go shoot some pool and have a beer and get out of the house. You got a 9-year-old sitting there getting the crap beat out of him and shoes thrown out of him. What the hell kind of fathering is that? I mean, I know the mom is nuts and the mom's abusive, but they dads, why are you leaving your kids with that nut? The nut you left. The nut you left because she's too nutty. Leaving your kids with that? What the hell kind of thinking is that?
Yep.
Craig?
Yeah.
You're 21. What's up?
Well, I heard you guys talking like a long time ago. Actually, it wasn't too long ago, but you were talking about how this dude, he called you, he had warts on his penis, and you said that wasn't possible.
What? No, Craig. Warts on the penis, 30% of the country have warts on the penis and in the vagina.
They do?
It's extremely common.
Sometimes it's the same person.
In some populations, up to 50%. It puts women at risk for cervical cancer. It's extremely common. It's the most common sexually transmitted disease.
So Drew lied when he said that.
You have to. They can't be eliminated permanently. Some of them tend to burn out by themselves over about 3 to 5 years. You should consider yourself always contagious with them. And they can be burned off, and there's creams like Aldera, and there's interferon, and things can be used.
And that'll get rid of them?
That will control them.
Okay.
All right.
All right, well, thanks.
All right there, Craig.
How could you not know that at 21?
I don't know. Scott Lindquist is our guest tonight. He is the author of the book, the Date Rape Prevention book. Sounds like a fun read. Here's 15 ways to prevent date and acquaintance rape. Communicate up front with your date. I imagine this is the woman, right? It's not the guy saying there's going to be some raping going on tonight.
No, I'm a rapist.
Drew, hold on, please. Let Scott finish.
They both need to communicate. Communication is only 3% verbal, about 38% tone of voice, and 55% body language. So in order for her to communicate effectively, all three of those things have to be saying the same thing. And when I talk to women about what they wear, and I tell them, look, if you want to wear a sexy outfit, that's your choice, and nobody has the right to touch you against your will or without your consent or without your knowledge. But you've got to understand that if you're wearing that sexy outfit, that is sending a message. Yeah. So you've got to bump up your communication skills to overcome whatever message that's sending.
I mean, don't you think oftentimes, well, it's interesting.
That's a good way to put that.
No, I don't think it's, well, it's not horrible advice, but it's what I would deem unrealistic advice, because I'll tell you why. Because A, when a girl gets raped at a party like this other caller, she may dress up and go to the party with her boyfriend or with some of her friends and be maybe provocatively dressed, but have no intention of hooking up with any guy that night.
Right.
But should she find herself in a position,
then it's time to change. I agree. Yeah. Go home, get yourself a potato sack, put that on when you're drunk, and then come back to the party so you don't get raped.
That's it.
All right, so that's A, why it's unrealistic. And then B, hold on, I'm not done shooting holes in your point. Number two is, I think a lot of women, first off, a lot of women like to look sexy just, you know, you talk to women all the time, it's like, what are you wasting all that money for lingerie? It makes me feel sexy. Yeah. You know, they're very much into the way they feel, which is weird, because as men, we're realistic. We're into how other people feel about us. That's why we spray coloring on our bald spots. We don't. You realize, to us, we feel like idiots. Hey, I'm putting spray paint on my goddamn head. But to everyone else, oh, we look like geniuses. Very attractive. No, women, here's what I think what happens. I think a lot of women meet a guy, and they like the guy. Like, hey, the guy's cute. The guy seems nice. We're going on a date. I'm attracted to the guy. I want him to be attracted to me. Now we're going out. We have dinner. We have a couple of cocktails. And he's pushing it further than I want to go with him. But when they were going on the date, initially, they were thinking, well, I'm attracted to the guy, and maybe we can make out, maybe we can kiss a little, but he parked the car and he won't stop now.
That's right.
So it's not as if they're trying to thwart him at the beginning of the date. The point is like they got to change their outfit 3/4 of the way into the date.
Well, or they've got to change the way they communicate. And oftentimes, you know, it's not a good time to be vague or gentle in your communication. In the book, I talk about that there are 4 different kinds of rapists, and the most common rapist out there is what we call the gentleman rapist, because he behaves like...
That was my name in high school.
Okay.
Your biography.
No, pardon me. When I boxed as a fighter, that was my name. Kid Gentleman Rapist. You should have seen my robe. I'll wear it in here. I wore a top hat and rubber gloves as I entered the ring. All right, I'm sorry.
But this kind of guy, basically, the FBI calls him a gentleman rapist because he behaves like a gentleman after the rape. After the rape, he'll walk her home. He'll be very protective of her, send her flowers, invite her out the next day because he doesn't understand that he has committed rape. So if she's in a position with this guy and he starts to rape her, the best thing, because in his mind, he doesn't think he's committing rape. He thinks he's just having sex. So she's got to be very assertive and aggressive with him verbally to call it like it is. This is rape. This is not consensual. This is not love, and I will prosecute, because you got to break through the fantasy.
Right.
But the next kind of guy out there that is also very common is called the control freak. And he knows he's committing rape. And you don't want to be aggressive and assertive with this guy because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
What you want to do is to talk about yourself and be very, your family, your religion, your faith, anything you can think of, because you're trying to build a link between who you are and someone he cares about.
I see.
Because he looks as women, as objects.
You want to bring his mother up.
Yeah.
Or your mother up.
Yeah. Somebody that he cares about. Hopefully that'll make that connection.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or he'll go rape your mother, too, when he's done with you.
Whatever.
It could backfire, that strategy. But, I've always hear about that. You sort of humanize yourself.
Right.
Because you're no longer an object that way. Do these guys, though, the second guy you mentioned, I mean, he's the control freak. These are guys who wear the stocking on their head and hide in the bushes,
Not necessarily. Right? This is a guy that has all kinds of names for women. You'll have a lot of athletic guys, guys who are, real important to the team. Right. They get off on objectifying women. They have all sorts of derogatory names for them. They're not real people. They're just things.
I think we should have tried to humanize ourselves when Fletch had us parted.
Yeah.
Did it work out?
Yeah, we needed you in here when Fletch from Pennywise abducted us and wouldn't let us.
When the SWAT team arrived?
I kept saying, this is me, Adam, speaking. Adam the human, Adam the Gemini. Fletch.
That's when he started yelling about having a loaded grenade in his pocket.
Dr. Drew. Drew, how are the triplets? Still, they're doing fine? Good. Okay. Sandy? You're 24?
Yeah.
What's up?
I am scared to death of sex. I can't even think about it. I mean, and I don't talk about it. This is like the first time I've ever even, this scares me even talking.
And where do you think that all came from?
I don't know. That's the problem. I have this like reoccurring dream I have all the time, and I know it happens, but I can't. When I was like 8 years old, I was spending the night at my aunt's house, and I woke up and my uncle was standing there, and he was just standing in like the doorway, and he stood there for about 10 minutes, and I just sat there. I mean, just laid there, and he left for work, and I got up and I just told my aunt I wanted to go home, but I don't remember anything, and that's what bothers me is wouldn't I remember? If
you were abused in some way?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. But
at 8 years old?
Yeah, it was around there, and ever since then.
Are you just afraid of men?
Oh, yeah,
I think there's more about being afraid of men, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not like a lesbian or anything.
No, I understand, but men evoke a very intense anxiety in you.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is I hate being touched.
Was your mom afraid of men?
Oh, not that scary.
I don't know.
I wonder if she's taking on some of Mom's stuff in some way.
Hey, your uncle was standing in the door?
Yeah. And
they have
10 minutes, and it was freaking.
10 minutes?
And I can't.
Well, what was he doing?
He was just standing there staring at us.
It's probably like shaving with the electric razor or something before he headed out to work.
But the point is there was sort of something already going on. I think it's just a symbol of all that.
Well, now every time she sees a guy standing around, freaks out.
I can't even be in the same room as my uncle.
Oh, well, that's a bad sign. But no, let me ask you this, Sandy. What kind of guy is your uncle? Is he a bad guy? I mean, other than this?
He's that type of buddy-friendly kind of.
Yep, it's always
the Barney Rubble type.
He used to get ice cream, kind of, and I would hide and I would run and I would hide every time he came over. He lives in a different state now, but.
Yeah, what's he do for a living?
Oh, he's a truck driver.
Oh. Hey, but listen, Sandy. Hey, Sandy.
Yeah.
Calm down, baby.
Okay.
Wow, you're really freaking. What's up with you?
I don't know. This is the first time I've ever talked about it.
You on medication?
I've been on depression medicine. See, the problem with that is it really bothers me is my mom will take me just to my regular doctor and she'll put me on it.
And I won't go to see anybody and talk to them about
Why
it.
don't you talk to your regular doctor about the fact that you have some other phobias?
Because he's a guy, and
All right, him. But just tell him that you need to talk to somebody. It's not just about the depression.
Where's your dad?
I don't live in the same state with them anymore.
Under what conditions did he leave?
My dad?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he lives with my mom.
Oh, I see.
They're married still. But, I love my dad, but my dad was very abusive.
Oh, all right.
Physically abusive.
Yeah, he'd pick me up by my hair and tell me to shut up and pull me.
All right, so there you go.
Well, there you go. That's it.
Well, what are you afraid of that?
Yeah, your dad scared the ass out of you. Your dad was a brutal man. He freaked you out.
He's changed now, but I mean...
Oh, yeah, they always change now. You know, they change when they figure out you can kick their ass, and all of a sudden they come Mr. Nice Guy. That's what my dad is.
Yeah.
Still going to give a good ass whooping. I'm waiting for his 70th birthday. Hey, Dad, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap my hand in a bag, put a bow on my fist, and pow, right in the chops. It's going to be great. You want me to hit your dad too, Sandy?
Sure.
How old is he? Yeah, over 60? I only hit guys over 60. His what?
He's in his 50s.
All right, well, when he gets 61, I'll hit him, okay?
Okay, great. Well, he was abused when he was younger.
No kidding.
What a surprise.
No kidding.
All right, hey.
The gift that keeps on.
All right, Sandy, I'm going to tell you two very important things. I'm going to hang up on you.
Don't hang up on me, but okay.
I'll put you on hold then.
Okay.
It'll be the same as hang up because we'll never talk again.
Okay.
Are you good looking?
Am I good looking?
Yeah.
Well, people say I'm pretty.
Okay. Don't believe him.
Thank God.
I don't believe anybody.
Thank God she's gone on this trajectory and not the other one we heard about so much.
Well, no.
Crazy prostitute. Sandy, listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad is a world-class a-hole. And he ground some horrible things into you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your dad's a man and a father and bad at both. And then there are guys like Dr. Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Good man, good father. So, what conclusion can we draw? Well, some guys are bad and some guys aren't bad. Okay? Now start using your brain. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Not every guy's an evil, abusive, alcoholic trucker who stands in your door. Shut up and listen to me.
Okay.
That's life. You understand? There's real bad guys, and then there's real good guys. You don't have to be freaked out by every guy. You understand? There's dogs who bite and dogs that drag you to safety. Okay? Your job is to understand the difference between which dog is which.
Yep.
Not to freak out over every dog. Okay? You got to get some therapy now. Okay? All right.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Another satisfied customer, huh?
Oh, boy, my genius. I should hit that lecture circuit with you, Scott.
Yeah.
Rape?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Rape is bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do when we go on the rape lecture circuit?
So you could go on and I could...
I'm going to be like the black guy behind Farrakhan. You know, I'm not going to say anything, but you'll go, rape something, a tragedy that strikes 10 million women a year, and I'll go, hey, go, brother! I'll just wave my hands around, you go. And then once in a while I'll go, mm-hmm. And I'll just cross my arms and nod my head. I'll get a few of my buddies to do it too, and it'll be like a whole lot. And we'll add, and maybe some pyrotechnics too. We'll make a real, and you don't wear that when you lecture, do you? I mean, I see you in a jumpsuit.
No.
something
Come in on a parachute.
That's right. Coming on one of those wires like that crazy Australian chick who was abused by being dragged by that wire 80 feet above the Olympic Stadium for 14 hours on Friday. All right, we're going to take a little break. More rape talk after this. This is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Is that the number there, Drew?
That's it.
Tonight, our guest is Scott Lindquist. He is expert on crime prevention. He authored the Date Rape Prevention book. And let me tell you something about what kind of super sleuth I am. I didn't want my car stereo to get stolen once when I was living in Hollywood, and I didn't have insurance. I painted it brown. Huh?
Good idea.
Yeah, because I said to myself, who's stealing a car stereo? And every other retard I told this to went, why? What's that going to do for you? I said, who steals car stereos? Junkies. Junkies who need a fix. I mean, that's what you do. You're going to wrap a towel around your hand, bash in a car window, reach in and tear out somebody's stereo parked on the street kind of thing, and then sell it to some fence guy for $40. That's drugs, man. That's quick turnaround. I mean, that's not, you're not an international jewel thief. You're not Pierce Brosnan at that point. You know, you're wearing Kleenex boxes for shoes and you're looking for a hit of smack, right? So I painted my thing brown because I thought, you can't sell a stereo that got spray painted. Basically, my strategy is, I'll F it up so no one will steal it. I should have rubbed crap on it.
This is sort of what makes people put piercings in themselves.
Yeah.
Same stuff, huh?
You damaged the merchandise bad enough, and no one wants anything to do with you. Yeah, it works.
Is that it?
Yeah. That's what it is. I painted that stereo brown, and I parked it right in the middle of Hollywood in a truck, and I never locked the doors because my strategy, again, was I didn't want to get the windows broken. If someone wanted to try to steal my brown stereo, let them just open the door. I didn't want a bashed-in window. And I put a fuel kill switch on my car under the seat. And I left the doors open and nothing in the glove box. And I figured, have at it, brothers. And somebody drove it down the street once, but I went and found it because it'll run out of gas in like 2 blocks.
That's why some women, after they've been raped, they will make themselves very unattractive, gain a lot of weight because
they paint themselves brown.
Yeah, they really do. So nobody will mess with them. Make themselves very unattractive.
Right. Now that's but they should do that first. Chris, like I did.
Yeah?
Let me tell you something. A cop pulled me over because I was starting my car with a screwdriver because the guy did try to steal it, busted out the ignition. I didn't have enough to put a new ignition in. I just had to start with a flathead screwdriver. I just drove around for a year with a flathead screwdriver. And it was all right. I was a carpenter. I always had one on me. The cop pulled me over because he saw me driving with the screwdriver hanging out of my thing. And when I explained to him about the fuel kill switch and painting it brown, he proclaimed that I was a genius. Right there on the street. Didn't even give me a citation. That's right. Wait till the buddies on the force hear about this one. Chris?
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, dementia kicks ass.
Thank you.
Yeah, my friend spent the night with me the other night, and we were in the same bed, and he thought I was asleep, and I really wasn't, and he was trying to get me in the ass.
Yeah, we don't believe it.
Why?
I don't know. It just seemed, I could see him if you said he started massaging your testicles or something. I'd go along with that, but to get you in the ass, come on.
No, really.
How heavy a sleeper must you have thought you to be?
Well, I was acting like I was talking in my sleep.
Yeah.
We were just playing around, and then he thought I was asleep because I was talking in my sleep.
Yeah, I understand the part of... Oh! Totally different. I apologize. Totally different. I was 150% wrong there, Chris. My goodness, that must have been traumatic.
Were you both loaded or something?
No.
What were you supposedly saying as you talked in your sleep?
Well, it might as well have been loaded. It was 4 o'clock in the morning.
I see.
What were you supposedly saying as you pretended to talk in your sleep?
Well, I was acting like I was beating someone up in my school. He thought it was pretty funny. He told me the next morning.
Right. So he...
Mounted you?
He was hearing you having these violent... conflict type dreams, so he decided to sodomize you?
And then he stopped and went in the other room, and he got some lotion or something on the bathroom, and he came back and started shoving it all up in my ass, and he just kept he went hard, too. It, hurt.
Yeah? Did you want to get out of the way at a certain point, or...?
No, it was funny.
Yeah. All right, man.
I wanted to tell her.
All right. See, male rape is funny. It's always funny.
Yeah, about 20% of all reported rapes are male-to-male rapes. So that's also an issue now. That
really?
Yeah.
20% rape.
Because now with the advent of these date rape drugs, young guys are being drugged and just like a woman would be drugged, and they wake up and they don't know who did it, and they know they've been violated. So
really?
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't you think a guy would be less prone to report it than women?
Much less. Prone. Yeah.
Well, then how do they come up with the 20%?
Well, you can just imagine that if 20% of the reported rapes are male to male,
then it's higher than that.
Much higher than that are actually happening.
What percentage of that 20% are heterosexual? Do you believe? At least the rape victim. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's difficult to ascertain, but we know that the basic threat for a male is not from homosexual rape; it's from heterosexual rape.
Yeah. What's in it for you to rape a guy when you're straight? I mean, what's in it?
What does that mean? Heterosexual rape of a male?
Well, what I'm saying is that they're not previously homosexual. I mean, it's not something that both guys are homosexual. And
the victim was not homosexual.
Yeah.
Oh, the victim wasn't, but the rapist was, right? Eventually.
Well, not necessarily, but...
So, I mean, it's sort of that deliverance type rape.
Yeah.
That farmer rape, that hillbilly rape, that squeal like a pig rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know too much about that. I mean, I kind of got a chill.
Listen, every man should experience that at least once. You ever been in the woods of Kentucky, Drew? Beautiful country out there. Let's spend an expectation.
I wonder what you were doing while I was sitting at the airport there in Southern Kentucky.
That's no knothole. Nancy?
Yes.
Oh, I'll tell you, I don't know, I'm trying to think. If I got raped by a guy, I'd be like, I'm going to report this immediately, and then I'd be like, let's see, I'm going to watch you do fast, and then I'll call the cops. I'm probably end up forgetting about it. Someone stole my mail the other day, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I did? Nothing. It's like, what are you going to do? You know, all you people that call people to do stuff about something, realize nothing gets done. You know, you guys, like, you come home, and someone broke in your house and stole your watch. You're going to call the cops? Have fun. You wait around for 6 hours. They show up. You fill out a bunch of paperwork. You never see them again. You never see your watch again. Just forget it. Just go get a lock or a dog. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Nancy?
Yeah.
What's up?
This guy. My question is, could you test positive for methamphetamines if you had sex with someone that does methamphetamines?
Actually, a pretty interesting question. We had a caller a couple of years ago.
Is the semen still in your mouth?
A couple of years ago, who insisted that she got high, a stimulant high, after she had sex with her boyfriend who was a severe amphetamine addict. And it turns out that amphetamine is about 7 times greater concentration in semen than in blood. So if he's using a lot, you actually can get exposure to a pretty decent dose. And opiates sometimes the same thing. But enough to detect on a urine screen, I don't know of any data that suggests that. I was just reading some stuff about medical review officers, and that was not one of the possible causes of a false positive. And it would be gone even at that level of exposure after about 8 to 12 hours.
Scott, let me tell you my plan. I have a lot of plans about crime prevention. I really do. I got a lot of angles on this. I should work with some police departments. Here's my weapons plan. You ready for this?
Okay.
I think this is the best way to go. Now a lot of people have guns in the house, right?
Yeah.
I have a gun in my house. They say
you do?
No, I don't. Well, I got a good looking pellet gun though.
Okay.
CO2.
Yeah.
It's got pretty good stopping power. Listen. I'd run if someone came at me with this thing. It's semi-automatic. I can squeeze like 8 shots of a fresh CO2 cartridge. You're running. I mean, you got to have some elephant tranquilizer in you. Otherwise, you're running. But here's my point. Here's my plan. So they say we keep a gun in the house for the protection of family and intruders, right? But we have kids, so we play it safe. So what do? Well, we keep the gun in a safe. That's on the first floor, and then we keep the ammunition on the second floor in a strongbox on the top, up in the top of the closet. Okay, that's great, but what happens when you're asleep and you hear a window break downstairs? It's take an hour and 45 minutes to load the gun. I load a musket faster, and you get that 9mm loaded. Or then you got to be irresponsible, right? Things loaded, things in the nightstand. Meanwhile, your son gets hold of the gun, blows the holes on.
That's right.
Here's my plan. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I need a shotgun. Okay? First off, shotgun's good because every law enforcement guy tells you that pump is like nothing else. People hear that pump a mile away and they start running. So you got the pump action with a shotgun. Secondly, you're not going to miss with a shotgun. Now, I get the shotgun, and here's what I do. I get one of those shotguns that holds like 8 or 10 rounds in it. Okay? I have these ones. I mean, as fast as you can pump, that's as fast as you can shoot it, and you don't have to keep loading it. It's not like the old double barrel type. You get about 8 rounds in there, right? First round, blank, nothing in it. Just the boom. Just the chick and the boom. Just to hear that chick and that boom go off, that's good enough.
Ooh.
Second round is all rock salt. Just as something goes flying. Still blow a hole in the curtain, blow out a window, blow out a vase or whatever. Third, fourth, fifth, and all the way through the eighth is live. Now, if something really hairy's happened, you can go through the first 2 in about a second and a half. You could actually probably just pump them out of the way or fire them off, whatever. But you could get to the meat real fast. On the other hand, you wouldn't blow away your neighbor by mistake.
Yeah.
You wouldn't kill your buddy by mistake. You wouldn't trip while you're carrying it and have him go off and take your head off.
Yeah.
This is a good plan, right?
Good idea.
Solid, right?
Yeah. The biggest problem with
Genius. Another law enforcement official is declaring you a genius.
You cops start listening to me. This is genius.
The biggest problem with having a gun for protection is that it has to be accessible, and a person has to be they have to be trained how to use it, and they have to be emotionally prepared to take another human life. And most people, they're very intellectual. They start thinking too much.
Right.
And so the more you think, the longer you hesitate, and hesitation kills. And that's the problem with lethal weapons. So I generally don't recommend lethal weapons for most situations.
But you got to admit the shotgun.
That is a good idea.
Very soft. All right, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to let Scott heap praise on me, and we'll be back after this. He is a crime prevention expert and also a rape prevention expert, which I guess falls under the heading of crime. The Date Rape Prevention book is the name of the book that he's authored. I was explaining to him and Drew during the break that I basically build my room like a cage, you know. You put bars. This is what everyone should do. Put a lock on your bedroom door. No one can walk in while you're asleep. Make sure there's a phone in there. Then if you're on the first floor, you put some bars on the window. And then at noon, the guy comes by and feeds you. He'll slop you. And you have to live your life out.
And you throw the poo at him and urinate on him.
That's my life. Yeah. Guy comes in waiters and hoses the place down. I fling some poo at him. And then, of course, the summer's my dormant season. So I just sleep. It's great.
It's in Balboa Park.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, where the hell were we? Yeah. My shotgun with the 3 shells.
That's a good idea.
Solid. Mike?
Hey.
I got to get on that. You're 18. What's up?
Hey, yeah. I guess keeping with the theme of child abuse tonight, I was sexually abused for a lot of years growing up, and I guess to make a long story short, I'm into mutilation now, self-mutilation.
Which, as we've mentioned, is sort of what people do to try to mess with themselves, have control over their body so somebody else doesn't mess with them.
Yeah, I was maybe looking for some guidance. Like, my body's destroyed. I mean...
From cutting. You're a cutter?
Cutting, burning, beating.
Yeah. Have you been are you on medication?
Oh, yeah. Like, I've taken every med in the book.
It doesn't contain it?
Well, it helps a lot, but it's brought me up from, like, negative 100 to, like, you know,
50.
negative 50.
Yeah. I'm going to give myself a light beating when I get home, Mike, if it's any consolation.
Yeah.
You had any behavior therapy of any kind?
Yeah, well, I'm about to start CBT.
Okay.
And they're going to try electroshock therapy.
For your mood?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I have a slew of mental disorders.
All right, so you're being aggressively treated, and that's
but
good.
I've been in and out of the hospital. I mean,
I understand, but if there was something simple that we could offer.
What's CBT?
Cognitive behavioral therapy, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was the construction battalion. Isn't John Wayne fighting CVs or something? All right, so, hey, Mike?
Yeah.
Who did this to you?
Neighbor.
Really?
Yeah.
For how long?
About 2 or 3 years.
Now, this neighbor must have been older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this doesn't sound like same-age stuff.
Yeah.
No.
How much older was it?
Like 3 or 4 years.
And you were how old when this started?
I was like 7 or 8.
So it's almost same-age stuff.
Yeah, and that's a big 3 or 4 years. I mean...
Yeah, it was more of like I looked up to him and basically took advantage of him.
You were 7 or 8, and he was...
like 9 or 10 or 11.
Wow.
Yeah,
he was a good 3 grades above me, I guess.
I see. And your parents never found out about it?
Well, they found out the night I was in the emergency room from, like, cutting to the bone.
Cutting yourself?
No. Yeah, I cut to the bone. And
don't tell me about cutting the bone.
Yeah, well, I had to go to the emergency room.
I'm sorry, but it hurts my gums. Don't make that noise. That hurts my nuts.
I mean,
hey, Mike, listen. I'm sorry for what happened to you, but it isn't, it's not a death sentence.
Yeah.
All right?
It feels like it, though.
I know. But look at it this way. It's a good time to be alive, even if you feel the way you do, because there's treatments and medications. I mean, you know what I mean? even 50 years ago, they would have just carted you away somewhere, and you would have just pissed at yourself until you died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, avail yourself of all the technology and medications and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Please, Mike. You'll be a great artist one day. You'll probably start a band.
Next Marilyn Manson, I'm sure.
Maybe better, even.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, boy. Where are we going here? Don? Oh. Speaking of rape, what about this phone system? Don?
Don?
Hello?
Yep.
Don, you're 23.
I couldn't hear you.
You're 23 years old.
Right.
What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. I'm sorry. I got date raped. like about a year and a half ago.
Who raped you?
This guy, this jerk.
Hold on a second.
Friend of the family.
Slow down. This guy?
This guy was a jerk.
Oh, he's a jerk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he...
Both things we didn't know about him before.
Right.
What?
I see. And...
I'd known him since I was 13, and I just gotten out of a relationship, and he just seemed like Mr. Wonderful, just like the best.
Friend of the family, though.
Yeah. He's older than me.
Right. How much older?
29.
I see.
But I was 22, I mean, you know.
Right. Friend of the family. And were you guys going to go out, like, sort of
I never
romantically?
even went on a date with him. I hadn't yet. We were supposed to go on our first date the next day. We were going to go bike riding.
I see. And what happened?
I'd never drank alcohol before, at all. And I'm not saying that I don't have accountability, you know. In fact, if anything, I blame myself completely for what happened.
That's good. That's healthy.
But, I mean, I drank a lot. I never really drank, and I went to this bar, and I had like 6 white Russians and a purple hooter.
And a purple hooter?
I don't even know what that is.
All right, so this guy got you drunk.
Yeah, and so he suggested we go to his house, and I just thought everything was so funny, ha-ha, and I was laughing and laughing.
Right.
And he just, you know, I mean, I was really stupid. I made really poor judgment.
Right.
And ended up waking up the next day and just being like, oh my God, you know. Because I told him no. I said no. I want to go home, get off me.
So now, how did it end, by the way?
He took me home, and I didn't know what to think. I like lay there all day and tried to figure out what had happened.
And did you report this? Did you talk to anybody?
No, I didn't tell anybody for...
And was this guy a friend of your parents?
Yeah. I told my parents eventually, but it took a long time. It took about 4 or 5 months or something.
And how long ago did this happen?
Oh, gosh. A year and a half, I guess.
Did you ever get help? Did you ever get any kind of therapy or...
I went to the doctor and got tested for like everything I understand. I just have like this crazy paranoia.
Yeah, but that's not treatment. That's just screening to make sure you weren't.
Yeah, he thought I should go see somebody in Seattle, but I never went. I like just did a no-show and stuff.
Dawn, you know, whatever decisions you made, or whether you had too much to drink or you didn't have anything to drink at all, it doesn't matter really. You made some bad choices, but that does not excuse what he did, because he made a choice to commit a violent crime. You are not the victim of rape, you are the survivor of rape, and there's a big difference in that, in the way you look at yourself and think about yourself. But you really need to get some help. You need to get some therapy. You need to talk to a rape crisis center. It's never too late to get some help about this, because this will not go away.
And I think the reason people avoid it is the issues are so painful to them, they just don't want to get into it.
That's right.
Well, I remember when I was authoring my book, Rape by the Federal Government, that I delved...
You'd be in denial for years.
I was in denial for years. Sure wasn't paying taxes. I paid like $1,000 tax for the first 15 years. I paid tax. Now I pay that on weekends. It's great. All right, Scott Lindquist is our guest tonight. He's the crime prevention expert, the rape prevention expert. We'll take ourselves.
The book is the rape prevention book.
That is right. It's a good read and a fast read. I read it on the toilet. True?
Yeah.
Did you read this book?
I've actually skimmed it a couple of times. Much more reading of it than you accomplished on the toilet.
Yeah. And what about me?
What about you?
I am
a genius.
A genius.
Super genius.
When I'm not painting a stereo, I'm loading a shotgun with rock salt.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be back after this. Well, Scott Lindquist just paid me one of the greatest compliments I've ever been paid, which is I think like a criminal.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you. That's what I tell people. That's good. It's a good thing. The Date Rape Prevention Book is the name of Scott's book. It is an important book to read. I was going to do one of these host things, male or female, but chicks, you just read it. Don't worry about the guys. Guys, you focus on not raping. And ladies, you read the Date Rape Prevention Book, and don't get loaded, and don't wear any tube tops, and you'll do just fine. All right, that is it. Scott, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
I'm a rapist.